Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. We are very excited to present you our advance in slicing technology, where the last Friday we published a press release with Telefónica and with our partners here with the goals that we made in the last year of working in the slicing program of Telefónica Group, okay? To start with the slicing, I try to explain the project. I try to simplify the knowledge of the technology. First of all, in the last year, the technology, the mobile technology is evolving for 2G, 3G, 4G, but in the meantime, we don't have the possibility to add new services because we still selling minutes or bandwidth, okay? And in 5G, we have the possibility to add new and more advanced services in order to monetize the network. With network slicing, the idea is, or the concept of network slicing is, have the possibility to create multiple virtual networks over the same infrastructure. The different networks can be configured with different capabilities, and one terminal can be connected for two different slicing, and two different applications in the same terminal could use different quality of services of the networks. Okay. In the project that we are working with Telefónica, that we call a slicing program, we worked in the last year creating and designing a proof of concept in the laboratory, and we integrate different solutions of RAN, one solution of 5G standalone core, and a solution of SDN connectivity to recreate a complete network in the laboratory. To complement this, we add a software to create a design network slicing on the network, a version of on-app software, and we connect all the pieces of the network with our NTT Data Assurance solutions. The idea with Telefónica is not only to test how to create a design network slicing, it's to test all the life cycle of the slicing in a network. What happens when we sell a specific service of a slicing, how is the capability that we have to monitor the quality of services in this specific slice. At the end, we are not only testing if we are capable of creating a slicing in a network. We test with Telefónica different use cases and different services. One of the services is an NTT Data experimental service that we call augmented reality for sports. It is a service that uses two different slices. In the first slice, the service is transmitting video, high quality video to the public cloud. In the public cloud, we develop an application, an artificial intelligence application, which is in charge to analyze all the traffic. At the end, we develop different applications that use the second slice to retrieve data from the cloud and to present to the different subscribers. This is only one services, but we understand from the NTT Data that we can collaborate with Telefónica to develop multiple different services over a slice. Okay, and well, right now we will come back with the panel, trying to ask some questions. The idea of the panel is try to transfer experience in the project with you today. Maybe the best way to do it is to start with Telefónica when the conception of the program born. Okay, I have a question for David. Okay, David, what are the objectives of Telefónica to create a project like network slicing?
Yep. So, well, we started in 2021 our slicing program with the intention to validate the maturity of the technology, first of all, and also the product opportunities. So after a selection process, we partnered with NTT Data as one of the key partners, together with others. to build and integrate end-to-end multi-vendor environment. So we could do this end-to-end testing of the technology as well as deploy use cases to demonstrate business opportunities.
Thank you, David. We work in this program with Telefónica for the last year, almost the last year, okay? And we are your opinion right now about the technology and the parts that we still be working to perfection in the next step.
Yeah, well, as you may imagine, it's not been an easy journey when we are speaking about end-to-end integration, as our objective was to have full slicing automation. And we see that we have like 6 to 12 months to achieve this level of maturity in the end-to-end automation that we want, like. And, well, mainly the limitation right now comes from, let's say, day 2 handling, where we'd like to have, or we expect to have, the update and reconfiguration of slices automatically. But we see that the technology is progressing at the pace that shows to the industry and shows the industry interest in this matter, specifically in network and device aspects. So from the network perspective, we see that technology is pretty much mature, which means that basically we have all the features and capabilities in the different network domains that we want, in access, in core, in transport. And this means that we are ready to launch slicing manually, which we could achieve day 0, day 1, to create and manage slices without the benefits of having the end-to-end automation that I was referring to. But we are pretty much there, and again, maybe the limitation comes from the challenge of integrating the end-to-end orchestrator with the different network domains.
Thank you, David. And Javier, from the vision of Mavenir, we integrate in the proof of concept your product of Rana and core, okay? What is the value from Mavenir to be part of this program with Telefónica and NTT Data?
Okay, so thank you very much. Well, first of all, I'd like to thanks to NTT Data and Telefónica, to have the opportunity to participate in this exciting project, because for us, it's, of course, it's a very, very challenging project, but it's very, very exciting as well. So, so far, I think that at least all the end-to-end slicing project that I have seen, it has a vertical approach. So that means that only one vendor integrates different components, but with, of course, all the components were part of the same vendor. That's complex, of course, but it has not the complexity to integrate different vendors from different components from different vendors. So the beauty of this project, or this end-to-end slicing program, is that we had an horizontal approach, where we have to integrate different components from different vendors. And well, of course, many challenges, but I think that finally we have achieved the objective of the project. Not all of them, as David said, but I think that we are in the right path. So from the Mavenir perspective, well, I think that it has been very interesting to integrate our Open RAN with our 5G core SA. We have also integrated other partners with our 5G core, and of course all of them connected by a third partner, by Cisco. And I think that it has been also very interesting. And we have learned a lot in the vertical integration with a horizontal orchestrator provided by NTT Data. So we have all the complexity from all the different vendors. So very, very, very interesting.
Thank you. This is important, one topic that you mentioned, that the technology never is completed, you know. Maybe the next question for you is, which are the parts of the technology that you expect to be evolved in the next month, for example?
So very, very good question. Thanks. So I guess that there are two topics, I mean, for improvement. The first one is, well, although I think that we have demonstrated Open RAN readiness for this kind of slicing integration, I think that, of course, there are room for improvement, and we have to, I mean, continue working in the development of new slicing capabilities. And something that is ongoing, and I'm sure that all these features are coming in the very short time. And the second one that I think that is also really important, and I think that David has already mentioned, is about automation. I think that this is the key for having an end-to-end slicing experience, and it's absolutely mandatory to improve all the automation topics.
Thank you, Javier. And you know, in the POC, we decide to have a network, most likely a real network. Because of that, we integrate a RAN from Nokia to a RAN with the capability of multi-slicing and another functionality. My question for César from Nokia is, what is the vision of Nokia regarding to slicing?
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks, Alejandro. And thanks our colleagues over here for the opportunity again, you know, as my previous colleagues expressed, to participate in this trial. I think was quite interesting and quite a learning experience for everybody. What we're seeing is, in the last, I would say, year and a half, we're seeing very strong momentum behind slicing. I mean, we see many operators coming forward and getting, I mean, showing some interest in doing some sort of POC trial. Currently, we have approximately over 20, I would say the number is closer to 30 pilots or proof of concept or trial ongoing all around the world. We're seeing this, you know, across the board. Most of them in live networks. So that speaks, as my colleague was previously mentioning, of the maturity of the solutions where the operators are willing to pilot these solutions in a live network. So currently we have over 20, as I said, it's closer to 30 pilots and trials all over the world. And in particular, we even have one commercial case where there's actually commercial service being offered to end customers using the slicing solution. So that's what we're seeing, and we're really are happy to see that it is really getting some momentum. The applications that we normally see, or the use cases that we normally see, I should say, for slicing are, number one, virtual private networks with edge slicing, or we're also seeing applications in FWA or use cases in FWA, and the use of slicing for application for Industry 4.0. We have some cases, or most of the cases are around mining or factories or energy systems. We even have a case where there is a railroad management system, working on a slice of the network. We have also seen some applications, some use cases for gaming, even for video analytics. So really, the use cases for slicing are starting to, gather the interest of the operators, and we're very happy to see this happening.
Okay. Thank you. Maybe with focus in the technology, the next question for Nokia could be, if you can mention the functionalities that you already have working in your product relating to slicing. Which capacities or which new functionalities is more important for you right now?
Okay, good question. So, well, first of all, as you can see, we're able to work in a multi-vendor environment, as well as probably the proof of this project and some other projects we have worked on. Our functionality works in 4G and in both flavors of 5G. So that is in NSA and in SA. And as importantly, it supports slice continuity. That is, you can start your slice, a device can start its slice in a given technology, let's say 5G, and it can transfer that slice to 4G. I mean, a typical example is a user in an urban area may start a slide or may have a slice in a 5G network, and then it starts driving out of the urban area and loses coverage, and then it can transfer the same slice, and then it's transferred to the 4G network, and so full continuity of the slide. No reason to stop the slicing just because you change your radio technology. On the devices side, it is supported essentially by all the devices. All the 4G, 5G devices support the slicing, and moreover, there are some devices that are already starting to support multi-slicing scenarios. That is, a single device that simultaneously can be connected to several slices on the network. So that is already happening. We have some work ongoing with some of the major phone vendors on this. The solutions today are pretty much covering from one side to the other. So the device, as I mentioned, the RAN, of course, the transport, the core, and even the application. So we cover the whole spectrum. And as I said, we think that it is at a level of maturity that operators can really rely on deploying this on live networks.
Thank you, César. And the last part, but not the less important, okay? We implement two different solutions of RAN, one solution of core, assurance solution, and orchestration. But we need to have something that connect these different parts of the puzzle. And Rana, I have a question for Cisco. Is how is working internally Cisco in order to evolve the technology to synchronize the technology of transport with the slicing capabilities?
Yeah, no, thanks Alejandro, and thanks for the opportunity for being here today. It was a pleasure working with Telefónica, the team here, and NTT. Basically, the way we look at it is on the transport side, we've been building mass-scale networks, focusing on security, full programmability to enable applications like slicing, and basically embed in the infrastructure itself the intelligence to basically allow those differentiated services with 5G, including slicing capabilities, right? So when we kind of looked at this, a few years ago when 5G was first coming up, we said, look, we need to have a cost-efficient manner to do that. And we're going to basically build an architecture where you can converge all your services onto the same infrastructure. And then we're going to leverage new innovation and technology around segment routing and on the automation side with our Crosswalk portfolio to actually build the ability to virtually segment the network into slices based on the different services that you have and the different SLAs that the operators would like to basically deliver on. And by doing that, we basically give a very cost-efficient solution ready for the SDN world to deliver on network slicing.
Okay. Thank you. As you said, it's so complex to have different layers of connectivity with different quality of services between different networks, And maybe the last question for you is, could you share your thought about this program with Telefónica? What do you think about this kind of program to test this kind of technology?
No, definitely. It's as I mentioned, we're super proud to be part of this, working with Telefónica, NTT and the team here, showcasing network slicing end to end, and basically how the transport, using even the virtual routers, can basically connect the whole network and also automate all the transport domain via our SDN controller, the Crosswalk solution. And the best thing about this, Telefónica is always also adopting the standard-based approaches and IETF and TIP, open config, and I think the leadership here to drive that is also what enables us to build those solutions that are completely multi-vendor and can go automate those networks in a seamless manner, right? This was kind of the problem that we were solving for. We know that operators today, even before the 5G era, they had different domains, different layers, IP optical, and different multi-vendor devices, and really to be able to deliver things like network slicing and new services, you need a simple way to manage the whole network from a single pane of glass And that's what we've been building, and it's a pleasure to work with Telefónica on that.
Thank you, Rana. And maybe to end this panel, the last question is obviously to Telefónica. What next? What is the next step in the slicing program for the vision of Telefónica?
Okay, thanks, Alejandro. Well, I think we need to keep working with NTT and with the partners here to drive the industry to the maturity that we want, of course. And again, main focus is on automation and multi-vendor, as Javier said. And yeah, this comes mainly with the integration and validation testing of end-to-end commercial products like HP, for instance, and also to expand this cooperation with other network partners. But basically, that will be it.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Well, to end, from NTT Data, we have to say thank you to Telefónica to allow us to be part of this program, and thank you to Mavenir, Nokia, and Cisco to be part of this project with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.